If we're not at a Disney park, we're dreaming about being there, and a cup of Joffrey's Coffee Disney Blend helps. But what about when you're at a Disney park? The Joffrey's Disney Kiosk and Restaurant Locator will make sure you never miss out, whether it's a cool drink on a hot summer vacation or a great cup of coffee at a Disney signature restaurant. Joffrey's has you covered. Check it out at Joffreys.com.
Hey Looper Nation, what's up? This is Joe Quattrochi, the original Super Looper, coming to you live from Disney's Old Key West Resort, and you're listening to a new episode of the ResortLoop.com DVC Roundtable with hosts Tim Scott and Bob Collar and others. That would be us, myself, Emily, Rebecca, and Brad. Oh, and that guy Jack Wagner. Yeah, if there was a monitor here, Jack Wagner would do his thing, but there's not. But still, Jack Wagner, as always, do your thing.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
For those of you who have joined us at the Polynesian Village Resort Hotel, aloha, and welcome aboard the Walt Disney World local monorail system. During the trip, we request that everyone please remain seated, and that there please be no eating, drinking, or smoking. Thank you. Our next stop is the Magic Kingdom.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'm Tim Scott.
I'm Bob Collar, or I might be another. I'm not sure. Am I another?
You could be another.
It's others.
Oh, others. Not
Don't be
another.
two. Don't be two. Have an argument with yourself.
What kind of show are we? Too late, Brad. What kind of show are we going to do today, Tim?
It's time for the monthly DVC Roundtable featuring the usual cast of characters. Emily Hansa Hicks.
Well, hello there.
Oh, hello. Oh, my goodness.
I'll get that.
Also joining us, Miss Rebecca Toon.
Cheers, y'all.
Let her finish her drink. That takes us into Brad Coates.
Greetings, everybody.
And Joe Quattrochi.
Hello, everybody from the Garden State.
Not for
You
long.
don't sound like the
is that
same
where you
Joe
are today?
Quattrochi from the Open.
I'm a little under the weather after running the Chicago Marathon. Usually my body kind of takes a lack of a better term of crap, and got sick. So
Is that
running with
medical-
44,000 other
medical
people from 100 different countries. So I'm just getting over a cold right now, but it was a lot of fun.
Very good. And congratulations to you. Congratulations to Brad for his half marathon. And Emily, you just finished. Didn't you do a half marathon? Yes? No?
I'm going to shortly.
You're going to.
Well, it depends on when this posts. I'll be doing the Wine and Dine. And,
Very good.
Wow.
And,
I'll be doing
Very cool.
a local 5K pretty soon, but
when is the Wine and Dine?
that's a good question because I'm completely unprepared. But
November 2nd, isn't it?
I believe that it is
Or November 2nd.
November. The half marathon will be on the 5th of November.
The 5th.
Yep.
Oh,
I think the
nice.
10K will be on the 4th, and probably if there's a 5K, which I haven't paid attention to, it will be on the 3rd. And
There
we
is,
will.
along with the kids' runs.
Oh, beautiful. And we will indeed have a Looper meet somewhere in there, or a Rocketeers meet, I'm sorry. And so we'll definitely, I'm sure I can beg Rebecca to join us, and we will just have some
I will
fun.
be there, but however, currently I am only running from responsibilities.
Okay, fair.
And some highly coveted Rocketeer pins that you can hand out.
Yes.
Share the love.
It'll be
Share
very
the love.
exciting.
Excellent.
You'll be able to tell it's me because I'll be coated in those pins. Like I made a shirt out of them. So.
You don't walk past any magnets. You'll be stuck to the. Anyway, this is not a. We could turn this into a Rocketeer, a running show, I suppose.
Very easily.
But that's for Mike Scopa to do. So, Tim,
Yes.
what are we going to talk about with these guys today?
Well, we're going to talk about some usual DVC Roundtable news. I think, Joe, you're going to start us off tonight.
I sure am, Tim. So
Nice.
we're going to start talking about my home resort, Disney's Saratoga Springs Resort and Spa. And they're starting to do a DIY kind of meal kit. It's kind of similar to the Blue Apron service that's out there. And for a limited time, Disney's Saratoga Springs Resort and Spa is selling kits to guests interested in preparing their own in-room meals. The kits feature Italian cuisine, including rigatoni pasta with tomato sauce, sausage, portobello mushrooms, Parmesan, and fresh basil. There should be some mozzarella in there too, but it's not listed. Also included are a large garden salad, garlic breadsticks, and baking instructions. So I guess if you don't know how to make baked ziti or rigatoni, they will tell you how to do that. The kit is designed to serve a family of 4, and it retails for $49 plus tax. Kits may be purchased in the marketplace at Artist Palette, which is in the main building at Saratoga. And it says, note here that I guess these kits are really designed for a 1, 2, or 3 bedroom villas because the studios don't have a range or oven to cook these. So this is like a cool idea. Disney's kind of dipping their feet into kind of the Blue Apron kind of thing. If this is something where you might want to save some money one night, just stay, and want to stay close to the room for one night, maybe take it easy, watch some movies, and maybe just do dinner in your room, this is a great option for you. Also, another option, and this is one of the reasons why I wanted to read the story, was in my past trip with my wife when we stayed at the Polynesian, we actually used Instacart, and Instacart through Publix down in Central Florida, and that is also another option for you to have groceries if you don't have a vehicle on property and you took Magical Express, or you just don't want to drive off property. Instacart will deliver to your resort, just as like a garden grocer does. But garden grocer, you have to pre-do your reservation kind of far in advance. Instacart, you could do it within the hour. That's another option as well. So if the $49 seems like a lot, and you don't want to do it through Disney, or maybe questioning the quality, you could just kind of do an Instacart and order it yourself. I know my wife and we ran out of beer while staying at the Polynesian. We ordered 2 cases of beer and some snacks from the poolside and had it within an hour at the Polynesian. So
Wow.
it didn't even leave. So Instacart is a great option for you.
So question, Joe.
Very good.
Because
Yes.
we have used We Go Shop in the past, which is similar to Garden Grocer. And they will go to various different stores for you. And inquiring minds would, of course, like to know whether or not Instacart will go to the liquor store for you, like We Go Shop will.
We ordered beer, so I do not know
So you
if
don't know?
I don't know if they separate the liquor with the beer. We had no problem ordering beer. It was delivered right to the valet area at the Polynesian. We just tipped the person $5 to grab it for us, whatever. And but they never checked the ID or anything like that. It was not a problem. But I don't know if liquor is different. That I'm not 100% sure, but beer was not a problem. So
I think We Go Shop requires you to either have your ID on file or meet them with the ID. I can't remember the rules, but they're pretty big sticklers on them. But they have always. Well, I'm asking for a friend, of course. I'll look into it later.
but this is actually a really, I think, even though it might be a little pricey, I like it that Disney's doing this. It just gives everybody another option. And even if you think it's
do
too
you actually
expensive,
think it is kind of pricey? Because I thought it was pretty competitive.
It probably is.
We've done Blue Apron and things like that, and I feel like it's pretty competitive.
It probably is. I'm saying, some people think everything at Disney is expensive, so they're going to complain about it.
So I'm just like, if you're doing the math, you're looking at like what,
$12 a person.
$13 a person,
which isn't bad. I mean, everything is in your room. I mean, the thing is that like they're doing everything for you. They're giving you all the measurements. They're giving you exactly what you need for the family of 4. So even if you're using Instacart, you don't have to figure it out on your own. So it's just, I'll just buy it and be done with it. So I just think it's a good option. I think it's nice.
Yeah.
And they're trying to.
Yeah, I think it's a neat option.
Also,
Yeah, I think I would expect to see the offerings expand a little bit and probably more, more
I wonder why they
resorts
picked
start to see that.
Saratoga for this. I wonder if there's a reason why.
It's a good question. I was going to ask you the same thing if you thought. If you had
It's probably a good
any
place
idea
to.
why.
It's probably a good place to experiment because you have people that are staying in villas, and you probably have a decent
more
mix of
isolated out
DVCers.
there.
Yeah. There's less. I mean, you can go across
That's
the
a
lake
good
and have
point,
the building
Brad.
places, but yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, we love ordering groceries in, but we do always end up having tons of leftovers, which is always a bummer at the end of the week because we always get the order slightly wrong and have too much this and not enough that.
Yep.
Huh. I'm curious, do they have like crock pots in the DVC villas?
No. I haven't
They have
seen
stock pots.
I was thinking a crock pot could be fantastic because you could throw like a roast and just some vegetables in the morning, come back at night.
Absolutely.
cook all day and come back and have dinner. That's
Exactly.
great.
You might be able to ask him for one.
Emily, do you find that you do cook a lot while you're on vacation?
What's that?
Do you find that you do cook a lot when you're on vacation, Emily?
We do, yes. We typically cook. We typically cook we typically only go out for a week vacation about 3 times. So, and that includes, we might have a lunch out one of those days, but for the most part, we plan a menu in advance, and it's it's like the same almost every time. We're kind of boring, but it's like really interchangeable. All the pieces, like chicken with pesto sauce, with pasta, with salad, and then tortillas. So we do this range of like nacho night to like chicken salad, chicken pasta. Like we have like sort of a minimal ingredient flow. So yeah, we
That makes sense.
Somebody is really excited about this, but yeah,
I really like this festive music.
Right, we love it. We also sometimes we'll get Trader Joe's. They will now we go shop. We'll go to Trader Joe's, and that stuff is so easy for kids, and like the frozen meals there are just insanely easy, and they have those like casserole dishes at the villas, so that's just the easiest thing in the world to put together some, gnocchi or something like that for dinner. So
absolutely
nice.
It also saves $1 billion for the record.
Well, there you go.
We go
$1 billion.
When we go on
$1 billion.
With 3 kids. My goodness.
Yeah, if you go, like if our average grocery bill is probably less than $300 for a week, and then add in a dinner or two, and that's with liquor and beer, trust me. And so...
For the kids?
Trust me.
I mean, I think you all know what's in my order. At least $100 of every order. But yeah, so I would say that it's like so much cheaper. It makes going to Disney World practically just the cost of the transportation, because we'd be eating at home anyway, and we'd be eating probably the same amount.
Well, I know just eating breakfast. My family will eat breakfast in just a regular room. We'll get Danishes and milk and cereal and that, and it saves over that time, that week long or whatever. It saves a considerable amount of money. So I can only imagine dinners that are sometimes over $100 for a family of 2 or 3, really, in some cases, depending on where you eat. Eating in your room is good call.
Yep, and it's also easier if you have young kids. So
true.
You don't have to worry about your kids throwing a fork across the room and stabbing Rebecca, who's just trying to have a lovely adult meal with her amazing kid.
Listen, I'll stab them back. I don't have any problem with that.
I was going to say, are they practicing that maneuver at home?
Okay, that'll be our news article for next month.
That's it.
Child stabbed.
Oh. Emily, do you have a story for us?
In that great description, I can tell you guys. I can tell you about you too can have this experience. You can get one-time use points. The price has just gone up by $2 a point, effective October 1st. So you may or may not know about this option, and you can make a one-time purchase per year for up to 24 total points to complete your reservation. So if you are just a little bit short and you wanted to go bigger than you normally do, you can just purchase those points. You don't have to sort of rent points from somebody else or borrow them from the next year if it's just a couple. I will say I've never used this. I've always just borrowed the points from the next year, but it does seem like a reasonable option, and there's no dues on those points, so you just pay at the time. They can only be used for reservations made 7 months prior to arrival.
Nice. That sounds like a good option. I didn't realize they had done that.
Has anybody done that?
No, I've definitely seen people on the Facebook message boards like asking people for points, and they just get ripped apart saying, why don't you just buy the points? It's a one-time thing, and they're looking for people to give them points.
Right.
It's quite entertaining.
Wow. Just be nice, people.
I was trying to look it up on their webpage, but it is a limited amount of points that you can get. And the truth is, at that price, you wouldn't want to be renting a lot of points, because then pretty soon it's like, okay, I'm really not saving anything. But, if you're just short, you just short 5-10 points, and
right.
And if you're like some of us who not only borrowed, but we've already borrowed all of those next year, and we can only borrow, and they got no more to borrow.
Right.
But I need 4 or 5 points. Hey, why not?
Well, Brad, it's also a great option too. If you're, for example, use me as an example, we always get a standard studio, and just say there's a specific weekend that there's only preferred studio, and we're short like 10, 12 points, it's like I don't have to worry about I don't have any points left. I can just go and I can just do a one-time purchase, fill out the end of it, so I can get my preferred room and be done with this. That's why it's always a good option. It's like a safety blanket.
Yep, exactly. For a few points, why not? The only drawback that I can see really in it is that it is only for 7-month windows.
Right. And there's no refunds if you cancel.
Yeah.
You have to pay at the reservation time.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
I will say Tara, I think in the past, my friend Tara has tried to rent points for smaller amounts and has been told, like when she's trying to piece together a split stay, has been told that most people will not rent a small amount of points. So that's a good reason to use these.
Yeah, it's a lot of hassle to go through to rent just a few points. So that they're very, very hard to get anything under 40, 50 points for anybody to rent. So yeah, it's a great option when you just need 10, like Joe said, you need 10, 15 to pull off the room you wanted.
Right. Or you got just a few points and you're like, let's try and squeeze in one more trip.
Yeah.
If we can just purchase 10 more points and zip down there, that'd be all right.
Yeah.
So I like that idea. Now that's something new, right? That's something.
No, it's been around for like 3 years.
Oh, okay.
The new is the extra $2 you pay.
Yeah.
There you go. All right.
That's what makes it news.
But hopefully that will translate into more DVCers knowing about that option. So that would be worth the $2.
Yeah, great option to have.
Excellent.
Rebecca, do you have a story for us?
I do. What I'm here to tell you about tonight is a program which gives annual pass holders and DVC members up to a 30% off discount at select Walt Disney World restaurants has been extended until December. Many of you know about this discount already because we've talked about it a couple times on the show, as well as other shows that Bob and Tim have done. And so in October of last year, these discounts were announced originally in conjunction with Magic Kingdom's 45th anniversary. And they were expected to only run for 1 year, so that would have meant they expired this month. But the program has now been extended through December 23rd of 2017. So you have a couple more months to take advantage of this really great discount. You can use it at the following locations: Chico's, Flying Fish, The Wave, Citrico's, Grand Floridian, Olivia's Cafe, Boat Rights, The Turf Club, Artist Point, and Captain's Grill. Do keep in mind that the 30% discount is only available during dinner hours for meals which commence before 6:30 or after 8:30. Between 6:30 and 8:30, DVC members will receive a 10% discount, although pass holders will still receive a 20% discount. So, it's a great way to experience some of these restaurants that you may not. I used it on a previous trip this summer to Chico's. I had never been to Chico's and wanted to experience, but I wasn't sure how I would like the cuisine. So for 30% off, I thought it was a great time to try. Turns out I really loved it and definitely plan on going back sometime. But it's a great way to try some of these new places, or even some of your favorites. I probably can speak for Joe and say that we both love Olivia's Cafe and would go there even if it's full price. So having a 30% discount is just an added bonus. And I actually love Boat Rights. It's kind of either people really, really like it or really, really don't like it. But I'm in the camp of really, really like it. We've always had great meals there before or after seeing Piano Bob. And I actually recommend that restaurant. So it's a great way to try out some new restaurants or some favorite restaurants.
On Jen and I's last trip, we actually used this discount 3 times, and just want to tell all the listeners that we used it at Olivia's, Turf Club, and the Wave, and just want to tell our listeners, take to 5 minutes and do the math, because we found sometimes that the 30% was better than the Tables in Wonderland. It was better than the AP discount. Run the numbers on your calculator. I mean, I'm saying it definitely, there were some times where it was better, sometimes where we had too much booze where it wasn't better. So we used it a bunch of times. Just, run your discounts when you get your check, and make say too much booze. Yeah, it was one night.
No
we had
What
a
is
friend
that?
we had a friend.
Oh wait, is that night you texted me, Joe?
Yeah, yes. That's for another show for another day.
That was a weird
But-
picture.
Protect our rating, guys. Protect our rating.
That'll be on the holiday thon episode.
Stay tuned.
No, I think this is great, and I would really like to try some of these places that I haven't been to and use them.
Okay, I wouldn't go to Captain's Grill, though. Sorry.
You wouldn't?
I don't like it.
That's the best place
Yeah.
ever. What are you talking?
I don't like Captain's Grill.
I am so bummed that it's not so far extended through the spring of next year, because we will be going in January, late January, and I would really, we're staying at Wilderness Lodge, and I want to go to Artist Point so badly, and that would be such an attractive deal.
But we can cross our fingers that they'll extend it again. And
Yeah.
It's just
There
once we
was
get past
some
the holidays.
repackaged version
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah. That'd be nice.
I really think they're ending it on December to take advantage of the holiday rush. So you may see that, early spring, you might see something else come out that rivals that. So hope springs eternal, my friend.
I miss the merchandise discount. Like, I want the 20. We don't get the 20% anymore, do we?
Do not?
I don't think we do.
Holders do.
Oh, well, I have one of those.
I mean,
I just want to buy some purses. Is that so wrong?
speaking of purses, did you see the Figment backpack that came out today?
No.
Or yesterday?
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Go check it out on my Facebook
Consider
page.
it
It's
done.
adorable. Yeah,
I will
it's
do
really
so.
cute. Yeah, it's really cute.
Nice.
So, anyway, take advantage of this discount. Actually, take advantage of any discount Disney offers you, because it's not cheap. So
Right.
do it.
Right.
Everybody just relax and don't get excited, because I'm going to tell you straight up that this event is already sold out.
Oh.
So you can't go. Sorry. You can't sit with us.
Wow. Wow.
Sorry. Mean Girls reference. Thank
I was
you.
totally going to
Thank
say
you, Emily. But we wanted to tell you about it anyway, just because I think that if you're considering buying, and you're considering buying either resale or full retail, or however you're, sort of tallying the votes, it's always nice to know what benefits are out there and what you might be able to expect. So we want to tell you about it anyway. So Disney Vacation Club members can attend a free Moonlight Magic celebration next month at Disneyland. Registration was open for a small amount of time. It opened, I can't remember when it opened. It's interesting because it says it's now open, but it's not, because it's sold out. But it was, the event is actually on Wednesday, November 15th, and you can book the Moonlight Magic for themselves and up to 5 guests. A hotel stay is not required to book the event. However, those with hotel reservations and a group larger than 6 could have booked for their entire party. So you wouldn't have marginalized some of your friends unless you wanted to, and then you didn't have to tell them about that part. Free at a location that has not been determined yet at 6:30. Theme park admission is also complimentary to registered attendees beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern. The exclusive members-only party is scheduled to run from 9 p.m. until 1 a.m. Attractions which are scheduled to be open include Star Tours, The Adventures Continue, Haunted Mansion Holiday, which is really exciting to me, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, and the recently reimagined Disneyland Railroad. The event will also feature character encounters, a DJ dance party, activities, and free refreshments, and more. The event was open only to DVC members who were eligible for the Membership Extras program. And when you attend, you will have to present your membership card and photo ID. Attendance is limited, as we can see now, because it's sold out, and advance registration is required. Then it goes on to say walk-ins cannot be accommodated on the day of event, and I'm assuming that's because it's sold out. But it's really great to hear about these things. It's a free event. It's free park admission from 9 p.m. until 1 a.m. with these great rides open, activities going on in the park. And I think it's really interesting to hear that they're sort of stepping up and trying to take care of their most loyal, fans. And I think that's really great. So I thought it was worth sharing anyway.
Yeah, that's one of the better perks that I've ever seen for anybody.
The park
free.
admission is pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
Right. So
I
very nice.
really need to know what the Holiday Haunted Mansion looks like. So somebody
Yeah,
needs some pictures.
and the reimagined railroad. That ought to be cool.
How do you reimagine a railroad? Isn't it still a train?
No, will that be
involves
your
mushrooms.
first? Will that be
No,
your
a rocket
first
ship.
Disneyland railroad experience? Have you done the railroad at Disneyland before?
I have not.
Well, there you go.
I have.
How
But they're
exciting.
going to charge you to get on it this time.
It's
now
the
a e-ticket
reimagining.
attraction.
Yeah, imagine that.
I do have some friends that go to Disneyland quite often, so I'm going to have to appeal to them to send me photos. And just as an aside, because we are talking about Disneyland, I think we can all agree that our hopes and thoughts go out to all the people that are affected by the fires going on right now.
Crazy.
We've seen some extraordinary pictures coming out.
In the whole state of
that
California.
certainly-
Yeah.
Wow.
The whole state of California. So just a quick shout out to you guys and our listeners and our friends, and that everybody stay safe, and we're thinking about you.
If you need a place to stay, contact any of the loopers. I'm sure we'll all take you.
There you go.
We're a friendly bunch.
I'll never notice another person in this house.
As long as they walk on their knees, right?
Right? I don't even care. As long as I don't have to wipe anything, I'm good.
Oh, my.
Watch the kids.
Oh, too much information.
There you go.
Hey.
We've just gotten everybody out of diapers, so I'm just in a really happy place right now.
Monument. Do you know how much that's going to reduce your packing?
It's amazing. I did a lot of canceling Amazon subscribe and save subscriptions, and I was like getting teary at work.
Oh.
Not that I was doing that at work, but
Congratulations.
So with everyone out
All
of
right, Brad,
diapers,
talk to us.
with everybody out of diapers, you're saying you don't want Tim and I to come over. Okay. Gotcha.
well,
Okay,
I don't need to know.
Brad.
I don't need to know.
Usually that's all we wear.
Different place to order diapers, guys.
We look like Baby New Year.
Baby Huey.
Oh, Brad, what do you have?
As an insert before
Before I do
Brad,
my
just
story, a couple of recaps, because I might have zoned out and missed it. When Emily, when you did the story on the restaurant discount,
yes, somebody.
that was-
did you mention
Rebecca.
was it Rebecca that did that? I'm sorry,
We're gonna-
Rebecca. When you did that one, whoever did that one, and you know who you are, so don't lie. Did you mention that it wasn't available between 6:30 and 8:30?
She did,
I did.
Okay, you
but I'm
did.
glad
I
you
wasn't
reaffirmed
sure.
that.
All right,
Because
and
I
then
think it's always great because most people don't listen to me, so they do listen to you. So I think it's great.
I've noticed that there are more and more discounts like that that are having time restrictions. So keep an eye out when you hear about a discount program. Check.
Yeah, it's the Disney way. You need to pay attention because they're looking to fill gaps.
Yeah.
You can't blame them, but hey, take advantage of it. I did find the place on those one-time use points. The maximum you can get is 24. So
Indeed.
All right.
Oh.
So I'd like to share kind of an exciting story coming out. Disney Vacation Club members now can participate in a special program by RCI called the Extra Vacations Program. Now, you can have been able for quite a while to trade your points. A certain number of points would get you a week stay for a certain grade of RCI, and then it took another different set of points to get a higher grade to stay in RCI. But this is different. The Extra Vacations Program is offered to DVC owners where you pay cash prices for timeshare accommodations without trading any points. And so RCA now allows DVC owners to pay cash for hundreds of destinations, and it said that the story said that the Extra Vacations banner said that week-long stays were as low as $3.99 plus taxes and fees, but actually the person did research and found places where they could find it even much cheaper than that. In fact, one here I was wondering if it was a typo. It says for some as low as $29.99 for a full week stay. Yeah, I'm not sure I want to stay in that resort because one of the things you
Right.
if it's $29.99 for a week, yeah, just say no. Anyway, the one thing that you have to be careful with is that you have to remember that with RCI, they are dealing with all kinds of different grades and qualities of resorts. And so, unlike with Disney, where you would feel totally comfortable, even if you got into a value resort, you would feel a certain level of comfort. Just the fact that it's Disney, you have to really encourage you to do research before you purchase a property. That you get online, you do research, and you check out that particular resort and do some research. Make sure that it's the quality that you would be looking for. Non-peak seasons, just like with anything else, going to be a lot cheaper, but it does include places like Hawaii, Las Vegas, Miami Beach, the Caribbean, Brazil, UK, a lot of different places that you can go. So to me, this is something I might look into. To me, it's very interesting because I can basically just add on another week's vacation, but at a great discount without having to use my points. Mm-hmm. Now, of course, just like with the other RCI program, there is a $95 transaction fee, even though you're not trading points. So, but at least that's what my understanding. Oh, I'm sorry. RCI is waiving the $95 transaction fee because it's not a point reservation. Okay. I should read more carefully. So,
but let me to reiterate, though, Brad, RCI is not a Disney-owned company, correct?
That's right.
So, like you said, make sure that it's the quality of simply because they're tying themselves into the DVC stuff doesn't necessarily mean that Disney
exactly right
is tied in with them. So.
RCI really doesn't own
it. Can I speak from experience right quick?
Please.
So I have a friend and a listener, shout out to Johnny Angel, who I'm sure is listening today. She is an RCI vacation owner, and she has booked us these little vacations, these getaway vacations, these planned vacations, as well as the last minute vacations from time to time. And the last time we did the planned vacation, we got an extraordinary deal. I think we paid $159 for an entire week at a resort, and in upstate Connecticut, which was absolutely beautiful. So absolutely what Brad said, you do need to do your homework, but there are incredible and amazing deals out there to be had. Wow. And with the internet and with so many research opportunities to look at reviews and look at pictures and do your homework, this is one of those things that I would absolutely encourage you to take advantage of if you're looking for a quick getaway, because we have taken advantage of this a couple times and had absolute success each time we've done it.
And Rebecca also said doing your research. Also an RCI owner, my family owns timeshare in Aruba as well, and as well as in Orlando as well. My parents have a timeshare. It's non-Disney. Go to RCI.com. Do your own research. RCI has 3 levels of awards. They have a hospitality award, they have a silver crown, and they have a RCI gold crown crown award. And those awards, when you go up to the front desk, they're not usually on the wall and people don't pay attention to them. They actually do mean something. And on RCI.com, they will have the little crowns listed if it's a silver crown, a gold crown resort, or if it's part of their hospitality award. Those are very important. They rate their own resorts. Some don't have any of those. It doesn't mean they're a bad resort. It just take it with a grain of salt. So RCI.com, do your research there. Also TripAdvisor and just regular Google searches. But just to give you an idea of what those, you want to look for the Gold Crown resorts. Those are obviously the highest, quality, and those resorts have gotten those awards for specific reasons. Yep. So something to keep in mind.
And keep in mind with RCI is not a resort or a set. RCI doesn't own the resorts. RCI is a clearinghouse for different resorts that then they become a part of it. Now you become a member of RCI, and then you can trade points into all these different resorts. But they do a great job of keeping track on what they have. They do have some low end, like Joe said. Sure. But they do a great job of rating them, and that's a good point, Joe, because I have not done it myself. I used to do RCI years ago before I bought into DVC, but I know multiple people. And everybody has said that their rating system is superb. So,
and just to make the connection, if you have, I believe the connection with RCI, and Brad, you may have a better line on this, but if you have extra points that you have to bank or you can't use or something happens, can you put them into an RCI account as a DVC member and use them at RCI
Yes.
resort. Is that how that works? Okay.
Yep. And I think they're good for
just to
like
make
2 years.
people aware of what the relationship with RCI is to begin with.
They're a clearinghouse, and that's how you use your Disney points. What these other people do when they get into RCI is they dump their points into it from their resort to use it somewhere else, or they can pay cash. And we're the same thing. They're a clearinghouse for Disney points. So,
and when you're dumping your points into RCI, we can get into this whole crazy. It gets really complicated, but there's such thing called trading power and stuff like that. When your resort is rated high, you have a higher trading power. It means that your points will go farther than somebody else who owns at a lesser resort. So if you own at an RCI Gold Crown resort and somebody who owns a non-rated resort, your trading power is higher than that non-rated person. So Disney's pretty high trading power, I believe. I've never traded it, but I assume it's how popular it is. I mean, that's a whole nother subject, but just kind of keep that in mind as well. That it can get complicated when you start looking at using points instead of just paying cash.
If you think DVC can give you a headache, just ask with RCI. It'll give you a headache.
Another thing
it's a great option.
Yeah, and you can also use the RCI. If you are really going to lose your points, you can use that to bank them for a longer period of time too.
Right.
And I think that's maybe what you're alluding
your value
to.
Without losing the points.
Yeah. And I think they're good for, I forget how long at RCI, but basically there is a way to extend.
I was thinking it was 3 years. Does that sound right?
Yeah, something like that. I thought it was 2, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, could be.
But check. I mean, obviously everybody research. We're just some people that are talking right now. But but there are strategies for you to be able to preserve the use of your points for years beyond the DVC value if you have to go outside of DVC. And honestly, you may even be able to, and I don't know if this is really possible, so this is just the lawyer in me talking, you may be able to bank them into RCI and then make an RCI reservation for a DVC resort. Not sure, but it is theoretically something that I would want to know if we could do.
If anybody out there's done it, let us know.
I'll look into it.
Great.
Please do.
Awesome. Joe, what do you have?
Okay, well, with the holiday season quickly approaching us, and I just received a advertisement in the mail. I'm sure Brad and Emily got the same thing about, buy more points. The holiday season is coming. But this story is with the holiday season quickly approaching, give your family the gift of Disney Vacation Club membership. Now that kind of reminds me of the commercials where the husband buys the wife the car with a giant bow on top. It's like, hey, honey, I just bought a $35,000 timeshare at Disney. But if you're able to do it, you can save on membership with this special offer and share magical vacation moments together for years to come. As they say, vacations you never outgrow. So for a limited time, you can save up to $2,600 or more on membership at select Disney Vacation Club resorts. And it gives a bunch of different examples. It starts with the lowest at 185 points at the Polynesian. And they say if you buy 185 to around 214, 215, it'll save you about almost $1,800. They'll give you a credit for $1,800. So this is one of those things that and we've talked about this in previous episodes in the past, if you're on the on the fence of buying or not buying, it's like when you're buying a car. If you know you're going to buy a car, you might want to wait till like a holiday sale that comes around, and then you could purchase the car because you'll get a better deal. This is one of those things. So if you're like on the fence of buying and you think, maybe we're ready to do this, they're giving you this holiday deal right now. So if you're looking at buying 200 points at the Polynesian, you might want to take advantage, and you're not looking to go resale, you might want to take advantage of this and get yourself $2,000 back in credits. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things that's out there that, maybe somebody, we kind of poke fun at it a little bit because we already own and stuff like that. But if somebody is on the fence to, purchasing, this is a great deal. As I'm scrolling down here, actually, Alani, you could buy as little as 150 points and get a purchase credit of $1,250. And it goes up to the furthest category is 275 to 329 points at Alani. You'll save you about $4,500. And that's also for Copper Creek as well. So they merged Copper Creek and Alani into the same category for this promotion. But so if you're on the fence, this is something that's out there. I know I've gotten notices in the mail. I'm sure Brad and Emily and everybody else who's a DVC owner has got them in the mail. They're kind of pushing this, holiday sale. But if you're interested, you can always call your DVC sales guide, and they give the number here, which is 888-681-6028. I always say that if you're going to be in Walt Disney World, find some time in your vacation to schedule this, because You will also get some fast passes out of it. You will get some ice cream at the ice cream parlor at Saratoga Springs and maybe some other things. So kind of incorporate that into your trip. If you're really serious about buying, incorporate a tour into your vacation. You will get some other extra things out of it. You can buy just over the phone, fine. But if you're going to be down there, you might as well get something out of it as well. So something to keep in the back of your mind.
But keep in mind, this thing ends October 31st. So this sale, if you're not in it, if you don't take care of it before the end of October,
it's not Black Friday.
It's you're done. But we do know some people that are interested in getting DVC, Rebecca, and Tara, and we're just saying that this might be a good opportunity. I like it.
Are you saying this is what you're buying me for Christmas, Bob?
I'm sorry, you cut out there.
I didn't hear a darn thing.
Miss Rebecca, hang up on her, Tim. Hang up on her.
And Bob, I just want to give a shout out to Ben and Kaylin Fluth. I saw them down this past trip, and they're on the fence of buying at Wilderness Lodge. So guys, I know you're listening. Take advantage of the deal. Get on it.
Also, they are literally the cutest people on the planet.
Oh,
aren't they?
They're adorable. See if this peer pressure works on them.
Teeth hurt.
And they're very close to becoming DVC members. I'm trying to talk Ben into it the whole week last week. So
nice. I think it's interesting that they put Copper Creek with Alani. I wonder if it has anything to do with like rates of sale or something, because I would think that they would group it with the Poly, but is the Poly...
Did they sell out recently? Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Nice.
Good.
All right, Emily, what do you have? I think this might be our last story.
Well, sure. Let's see. Okay, so we are talking drinking, as we do. And there is a tasting series at the Top of the World Lounge, because I know it's a shock, but apparently DVCers like to settle in with a beverage. And so Bay Lake Towers exclusive Top of the World Lounge, where accessible only to DVC members and their guests, is having a weekly beverage tasting series, which I did not even know about. And I'm super excited about, because this sounds like it's actually a sort of a continuing thing. So I'm going to call into member services soon about it, and that's how you would book this. They have a new menu of holiday themed sessions. These are on Thursdays as part of Membership Magic Ever After. They're priced at $40 a person. And from 4:30 to 5:30 p.m., you can experience for as many as 20 participants, but a maximum of 4 people in your party. You can experience a focused tasting. So it is either beer or wine or bourbon or mixology. I'm assuming that the bartenders are teaching these, but I don't know that as a fact. And there are small plate food pairings as well. So the dates that you want to look at: beer tastings are October 26th, November 30th. Bourbon tastings are November 2nd and December 7th. Wine tastings November 9th and 14th. And mixology will be November 16th and December 21st. And there will be seasonal tastings, holiday-themed sessions on tap from November and December, and those will be on Tuesdays from 4:30 to 5:30 at the Top of the World Lounge. The holiday slate is November 7th, spiced or mulled cider. November 14th and 28th are Thanksgiving cocktails. December 5th are chocolate-inspired holiday drinks. December 12th, hot holiday beverages. And December 19th are coffee-inspired holiday drinks. And I'm not really sure exactly how this is a perk, but it says attendees are welcome to remain in the lounge after the session or even return to the lounge later in the evening. I'm not sure if you're a DVCer and you're already able to get into the lounge, how that's a perk, because obviously you're probably a DVCer or the guest of a DVCer when you book this. Maybe it's if you're a guest, you can get back up. I'm not really sure, but
or if you're a DVC member not staying on points, but you could participate in this program.
Sure, maybe that's it. Do they? Have you ever been? Have you ever not been staying on points and gotten kicked out of Top of the World?
I was not staying on points once, and I had no idea that you had to be staying on points. And they were nice enough to let me up, but they saw I was completely clueless.
Okay.
So, and they kind of educated
but they
me.
said something about it.
That's
Okay,
my
Like,
thing.
you need to be on points. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. And I honestly, I did not know. I just
Right,
become a DVC member. So that's probably one of the things that, but maybe the lounge also is it usually open that early? I usually go later in the night.
Recall. Yeah, I usually go around. I really can't recall.
But this sounds really cool because number one, it's early enough in the day where it doesn't infringe where they're closing the lounge. So like if people want to go and watch Happily Ever After from Top of the World, it's like, oh, you can't. There's a private event going up here, and
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not like excluding people. It's early enough in the day. You could do this where you can have some dinner afterwards, and it's just and I like the way they're mixing it up a little bit by having different themes and stuff like that. So if you're there long enough, or if you're if you're a local, you can go and take advantage of these. So something different.
I plan to call tomorrow. And if
I need to know who's taking me to this.
Right.
I We are going.
I am particularly inspired by the holiday-inspired drinks.
It sounds delicious. Yes. It also
we
reminds
call
me
it
of the cruise. Yeah, we recently went on a Disney cruise, and they had mixology classes, like all kinds of different ones. And there are all kinds of opportunities. I know Disney likes to make money, and so there are all kinds of opportunities for them to do these little extra programming items. And I'll happily hand over $40 an adult to go drink some stuff. So,
right. And I think Disney knows there's a population out there that is into the drinking at Disney World. Just if I could, a quick shout out to our friends over at Three Sheets, Tim Elbing, Adam Bleinstein, and Jason Odegaard. Like those guys, they do a podcast about like drinking at Disney. I mean, like
no way. How did I not know this?
You know what I'm saying? Like
it is not family friendly.
It's not family friendly. Yeah, so,
nice guys.
But
adult
they see the success of Food and Wine, and I'm sure Disney knows about these podcasts and stuff like that. They say, hey, there's a segment of the population that is really into this. And they're creating these new events. Even though this is for DVC right now, if it's successful, it's a good test market, then they expand it out to everybody else. So, I mean, they know what's going on.
They probably stumbled upon Tara and my blog, Disney Lounging, as well. So
I'll bet.
That's right.
Probably one of the main inspirations that Disney has had.
Yeah, of course.
For this.
Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, Disney is looking at all of it. They listen to as many podcasts as they can. They're looking at all the blogs because we are the greatest resource that they have into finding out what's going on.
They're going to
and
get a
what
lot
the
more
thought
data out of the
process is.
podcast than they are
Absolutely.
doing
Hi, Disney.
at the gates when people are mad,
Right. The social media and podcasting and all of this stuff has made it just so much easier for them to gather a whole bunch of information in a short amount of time. So
they have to release some news or hint of some news and just listen to the feedback right away.
Right.
It's a really smart change in strategy because I feel like they used to be extremely protective of everything, and they would really try to control the image and not allow people to. Like there was that was exaggerated but well publicized story of them like suing a daycare facility for having pictures of like vinyl stick-ons of the Lion King or something. Mm-hmm. And I think since then they have gone to this place where they're like, you know what, all publicity is good publicity. So, and they do tend to try to make things right with their guests, so much so that the voices. When somebody's criticizing them, I think the voices backing them up drowns it out because they tend to do right.
Right. We are the greatest, the largest focus group on the planet. So they don't need to bring people in and ask them questions. They just listen.
Right.
And we're not scared to tell them just exactly what we think.
That's right. That's right. So, Tim, what else we got for these guys?
Well, I thought we'd go over a different little question. Since we've reached our end of our news for the week, I want to throw out there with the new Disney Riviera DVC resort that's going to be built. Is there anything you'd like to see implemented that's maybe not been used before in a DVC or just a Disney hotel property? Anything like amenities, perks that you'd like to see that you haven't seen yet? Help Disney out because they're probably, we just said, listening.
everybody knows my stance on this, but my wife and I, we don't have any children, so I would like to see some sort of. You think of Riviera, you think of like fancy. I think of Vegas too, because of the old Riviera there. But I would like to see like an adults only area, such as a pool or a restaurant or a lounge, for a couple of reasons. Number one, my wife and I, so we were just at the Poly and at Old Key West a few weeks ago. And there's times that we just want to lay by the pool and relax. And Old Key West was fantastic for that. That is the best resort for adults. If you just want a resort to get away, that's the best one to go to. Yeah. However, we had a friend who was also staying at the same time at Beach Club, and we went to go take them at 5 o'clock to Trader Sam's at the Poly, and it was a 3-hour wait already. And I walked in, and I probably saw about 15 to 20 kids in there. And to me, that's just like for kind of unacceptable. It's a lounge, it's a bar, So, like I said, I'm not saying I'm anti-kid, but there's a time and a place for it, and they wouldn't even let us in there. They wouldn't even let my buddy in there. But it should be. But they wouldn't even let us in there to take a peek. I took a peek, but they wouldn't even let him in and take a peek. He'd never been there before. So, if I would, what I'm saying, some sort of just an adult-only area. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Right. I know there's been rumors that Disney's been kind of like throwing rumors out there about an adults-only area on Discovery Island or somewhere else. There's been rumors out there, so that's what I would like to see. The second one is, I just want to jump on this real quick, would be as a studio user, if they could put some smaller stackable washer dryers in there, I would sacrifice a closet or some other space to have a small stackable washer dryer in the room. In my condominium here in Jersey, we have a small stackable washer dryer. Works fantastic. It won't fit a ton of clothes, but it will clean some stuff. So if it's just two of you, it's perfect. If they could do that, that would be fantastic. I know it's a perk for having a 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom villa, but something that hasn't done yet, a stackable washer dryer in a studio would be fantastic. So I'll take those two.
Yes.
Anybody else have anything?
All right. I love the idea of a DVC lounge that's exclusive to registered guests at that resort, especially if it extends to people who are renting points at that resort. So anyone staying at that resort,
anyone staying there,
really, yeah. Even if they're what if they're paying cash for that room? Is that cool?
If you're staying at that resort, it should be for just something different. That. Like as somebody who goes to Top of the World, I sometimes feel bad that like I'm walking through like the hallways of Bay Lake Tower, like making all this noise, whatever, and so I'm not even staying there. You know what I'm saying? So to have something exclusive to that resort would be fantastic. That would give it imagine if Top of the World was only for Bay Lake Tower members only. That would give that resort even more of a bump. So
absolutely. I had the opportunity to go to Top of the World Lounge with a friend of mine, and she was very gracious. We met after the fireworks at Magic Kingdom, and it just happened to literally come an absolute downpour right after the fireworks as we were heading over to Bay Lake, and we were like dripping, drenched, drowned rat, the whole, like it was awful. And I actually felt really guilty traipsing through their lobby and because I wasn't even staying there. So I think it would be super cool to have something that was specific for those registered guests that were at the resort. Yeah, I like that idea.
The only thing that I had...
see lots of people with ideas, so somebody better speak up. Who just wrote gondolas?
It certainly wasn't me.
It was Bob.
I think it's Bob. Bob's a big fan of the gondolas.
Yes.
Skyliners.
Sky.
Is that what they're called?
Whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was going to say, one of the things that would be kind of nice would be with the new dining experience that's going to be at this particular resort, kind of along the lines of what you mentioned to make a once a week or a couple times a week where it's reserved dining to watch the fireworks and things strictly for DVC members. So it would be a particular time when you could book that particular dining experience to see it, but it'd be more limited and it'd be only for DVC members to come in, and they could include some special things involved in that too. So creating one of those magical moment experiences like they've been doing, but do it there at the resort.
Okay.
Very cool.
So one of my ideas sort of dovetails into Joe's idea, but it's the flip side. Joe wants adults only areas, and this is already at some of the resorts, but definitely community hall kids club area, so that we can enable Joe to have a child-free experience.
I have no problem with that. I think the kids clubs are great because that lets the adults go out to the bars and go out to the lounges and enjoy themselves. I mean, I don't know how popular Lilo's Playhouse is, or I know there's another one somewhere.
There's Sandcastle Club.
And at the Beach Club, right?
Beach Club, yep.
But I'm saying, like, those are great programs, and it's like it gives the adults the opportunity to go out and have some fun. So I think that plays into what I'm saying as having an adult only area. There should be a kids club area. Like, the kids can go, put them there, have a good time, and the adults can enjoy Disney World, you know.
Make it very similar to like what's on the cruise ships.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And by the way, my kids liked the Disney World kids clubs better than the cruise ship, for the record.
Wow.
I don't know why, but they were like, that was okay, and they kept calling us to want to go back with us during the cruise. But when we put them in those kids clubs, they're like, "Mom, Dad, leave. We hate you."
Right.
Everybody loves
You're dead
Lilo.
to me.
Right. And they really, by the way, for all of you parents listening, we haven't gone to Club Dolphin yet, which is, I think, at the Dolphin. And I've heard rumors that
Which I think is at the Dolphin.
yeah, I think so. And then there was one that was like the Cubs Den at the Wilderness Lodge, but I've heard rumors that break my heart that it's closed and permanently. I'm going to confirm that before January, but Club Sandcastle at the Beach Club, it is not the prettiest on the inside. Oh, there's one at Animal Kingdom Lodge too, Simba's Cub House. We were not super impressed by that, although I've heard other people say it's good. But the Sandcastle Club, not impressive looking, but for some reason our kids had the best time there. Like, they must have had the best. They had some kind of
Best
like
cast
pirate
members.
captain lady. Yeah. So I don't know if it's just their cast or what, but our kids were like, "Can we please go back to that?" So, heads up. That's all.
Very good.
That's
good to know.
Hey, before we wrap this up, who wanted a retro-style restaurant or bar?
That would be me.
Nice.
Yes. I also want more edutainment. So I was going to wax poetic about the train station in Disney World when you guys were talking about trains. I just get so into those trains, and apparently Wilderness Lodge has some of the Carrollton model trains.
Oh, Carrollwood, yeah.
Or Carrollwood, yes.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about that, but I love that kind of the stuff that you can kind of learn along the way. So I hope they amp that up and have some. I actually really would like a class or two, as long as they kept it light and fun.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
I love that idea of the retro style restaurant. Going back to what Joe said, the Riviera being and I know it's the Riviera, not the Riviera in Las Vegas, but I would love to see a nice nightclub kind of atmosphere. Bring back the Rat Pack kind of feel.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely.
Tropicana.
A lot of fun.
Oh, I love it.
A lot of fun.
Almost like take a Jelly Rolls and make it like in a resort, but even
yes.
better.
Absolutely.
You have a Yeehaw Frank.
Yes.
Maybe you could actually gondola into the restaurant.
No.
On the boat
gondolas.
The boat gondola.
And Bob, here you go. Bob, here you go. Right. So you could totally take the Rat Pack theme in Disney and just call the club Mickey Blue Eyes.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Nice.
How much do I love that?
Love it.
Nice.
Okay.
Oh,
I love it.
Copyright ResortLoop.com 2017.
Thank you. Thank you for the
You
copyright.
have to buy it from us
That is
for the price of one meal.
Mickey Blue Eyes. Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh, that would be so amazing. I would so go to that.
Oh, you would have to kick me out of there.
When you said that, all I could think about
Hoboken, New Jersey. So yeah, he's from
I
my
only
home.
think about that the movie that came out, Sing, with that little
Yes.
mouse who sang there you go.
Right.
I have Mickey singing like that. I love
There
it.
you go.
That would be incredibly popular. I mean, if you had some really good acts in there and some really good band, small bands and stuff like that, that would be amazing. It really would be really good.
A nice,
Question.
the sing in the stands. That would be awesome.
I feel like this may already exist, but are there some of the restaurants in the DVC resorts that let you do a tour? I feel like I've read about this.
So I think isn't it Sanat or Jico's that they do a tasting?
I think Chico sounds familiar.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think they have
I think
lectures
that would
with
be cool, like that kind of thing in the restaurants or something like that.
Yes. I love the tours. Like, I don't go on as many of them as I'd like to because of those darn Rugrats I have. But I would love to I would literally like to spend an entire week not even going to the parks and just go on all like the resort tours and,
Yes. You mentioned that, and one of our favorite, we love, when we go cruising, we love to go to the chef's table on water. And one of our favorites, surprisingly, was on a Carnival ship. And it was because they held the chef's table meal inside the kitchen.
That's awesome.
So cool.
Yeah.
To do something like that at the Disney restaurants where you're inside the kitchen and the head chef is there, and we actually went in the back and made our own chocolate lava cakes and saw how to blend them. And
you can do that at the Grand Floridian.
At the V&A's.
Yeah.
I don't think you're in the kitchen, but you're pretty close.
Where did Tim and where did they do the little Mickey? They just came back from Disney and they did the little Mickey cakes that were really cute.
Yeah.
Those were really neat.
I saw the pictures. I don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah,
Some bakery. I think it may be in Disney Springs though.
I believe it was.
They do have a dining like that at Napa Rose.
We need to come up.
It's a chef's counter instead of chef's table. So you sit at a counter and you're looking in on the kitchen the entire time, and you can actually interact.
Doesn't Flying Fish do that?
Yeah, I believe so now.
Something similar, yeah.
Like when you first kind of walk in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We need to write a book called Disney for Nerds. Or maybe I do. Where we write all of the things that are super nerdy. That you
I
can
prefer
do.
the term geek, but okay.
Sure, geek. I like it. Geek sounds less judgmental. I like it. I have less flashbacks when we say geek.
Nice.
Well, Tim, I think that is about all we can talk about on DVC this month.
Just for this
we got
month.
it in a little quicker than we normally do.
We did. We weren't rushing to the end. Awesome.
Look at us planning ahead.
Everybody, who knew? Who knew that was possible?
Responsible.
Who knew that was possible?
I was confused. I was like, wait a minute. We just recorded.
Right, exactly. Well, and thanks for joining us for a great show. Brad, where can people find you?
You can find me and I wasn't ready to go
cracking me up tonight.
You can find Brad driving the car.
Yeah, you can find Brad trying to figure out what he's going to say.
Didn't mean to spring that on you.
Find me at the hospital in the emergency room having my brain checked.
Wow.
Also on Twitter, Papa Mouse 1 and FTJ by Brad on Facebook.
Nice. How about Emily?
You can find me thanking my husband for watching the children after a long day so I can do this. And you can find me at Resort Loop Rocketeers with Joe Quattrochi on the Facebook page, on the Twitter handle. We would love to hear from you. And you can find me at Disney World, the Weekend of Wine and Dine. You can also find me at Disney Lounging. Please submit your own lounge reviews because we will be happy to put them up there. And you can find me waxing poetic on this podcast.
Love it. Speaking of Joe Quattrochi, how about you, Joe?
Yes, Tim, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Joe Quat. You can find me on the Mickey Dudes podcast. You can find me also on the Resort Loop Rocketeers page and also in, what's our group called? The Resort Loop, what are we?
Looper
Nation.
Oh, my God, Looper Nation Live. I only posted like every hour.
Yeah, you're on cold medicine.
Lots of pictures. Yeah, definitely come over and join us on Looper Nation Live. We have a lot of fun over there.
And Rebecca Toon, where can people find you?
You can find me right here, every DVC Roundtable. Recently, you can find me over at the Mickey Dudes talking about Epcot and their 35th anniversary. You can find me at Looper Nation Live, where Jamie Price likes to remind me that I probably have too many cocktails, but that's okay. And you can find me at Twitter and on Facebook at Becca Berry 73.
Awesome.
Very good.
Everybody, thanks for joining us. I'm Tim Scott. Facebook, Twitter, the website, ResortLoop.com, and ResortLoopTravel.com.
And don't forget to like us over on Facebook, rate us on iTunes, join us over at Looper Nation Live. That's always a lot of fun over there. And what else should folks do, Tim?
Everyone, please go out there and share. Everybody say it.
The gateway to the magic.
See you, everybody.
Wow.
Wow,
right
stolen.
Right over top of me.
Man.
Bob, sorry, Bob, say it.
Wow.
Love it.
All right, here's what. See you, everybody.
There it is.
Vacation memories will stay with you and your family for a lifetime. The Resort Loop Travel Group was created with this in mind. Our fee-free services will relieve you of the stress and confusion of finding and booking the best vacation at the best price. After booking, we will continue to monitor for ways to save you even more on your vacation. We will check for any upcoming packages and discounts to save you as many vacation dollars as possible. Resort Loop Travel Group, gateway to your magical vacation memories. Get a quote, or for more information, visit ResortLoopTravelGroup.com.
What kind of show are we going to do today, Tim?
It's time for the monthly DVC Roundtable featuring the usual cast of characters. Emily Hansa Hicks.
Well, hello there.
Oh, hello. Oh, my goodness.
I'll get that.
Is he really getting it?
No, but I can't turn the phone off from down here.
Can you?
No, let me take this one.
You'll never even know this happened. Also joining us, Miss Rebecca Toon.